subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Thursday night football review for round 18 of the NRL. And joining me for the review, as always, on a Thursday night. We haven't done many of these recently because
no, we haven't, bro.
Football. TJC Sports, hello, bro.
Hey, mate. Glad to be here. Let's do this.
What an absolute bludger of a game.
Oh, mate. I had so much hope it would be better than we expected. Just didn't turn out that way in the end.
I will admit it was competitive for a while. I mean, they did get it back to, 24-16, and I was like, here we go. And then it blew out after that.
There was a point where it looked like the Dragons could have a hope of coming back, but they just never took advantage of it, and the Sharks just proved why they're the better side.
It's just sad because this is a local derby. This is a rivalry game. The Dragons definitely were up for it for a little while, but they just seemed to run out of energy. And in the end, it ended up being a bloodbath.
Yeah, in the end, it just ended up being a very, very one-sided. It was a massacre.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game of footy. Hello to the live chat. Hello, everyone that's tuning in. Hope you're all doing well. I don't know about you, TJC, down there in Sydney, but it is freezing up here in the Northern Rivers.
Oh, mate, 100%. I'm relieved that it's beanie round, bro.
Oh, you're not wrong. Yeah. They should have a fucking jump around. It gets that cold, I tell you.
Oh, mate. Jump around every round for me.
No, you're not wrong. Hello to the live chat. Hello to Viking King, Jeffrey, Yeet Boy, SS Storm Fan, Hosea XCI, FTG Videos. I hope you guys are all doing very well. Welcome to the review. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on this game in the live chat and whatnot. Hello, William Pearson as well. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you press the subscribe button. And if you haven't checked out TJC's YouTube channel, make sure you check his channel out as well. Yeah, look, I don't think we'll be on air for long tonight, TJC. This game was extremely disappointing. I think
100%.
I think tomorrow night will be the one where we're all excited. We got 2 blockbuster games tomorrow night, but this one here was poor, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, tonight's game, I think we all kind of went into it going, this game's probably going to be one-sided, but they dared to give us hope. They dared to give us hope at the start that it wouldn't be.
Yeah, well, going into it, I did tip the Sharks 13 plus, just like everyone else did, and I wasn't one of those guys that said it'd be 50. I thought maybe it'd be around that, 16 to 20-point margin. Thought the Dragons would show some guts, but once again, something needs to change there, man. Like last week, they were beaten by the Warriors at Wollongong, 48-18, I think it was, and now this week they concede 52-16. It's, I don't know, man.
This game wasn't any improvement on the last one.
The Dragons' right edge defense is so bad.
Mate, their right edge defense couldn't tackle my grandmother. They're that shit.
They couldn't even tackle my bloody auntie. There's no doubt about it. What about look, I'm not, obviously I'm not going to blame it all on one player. I'm not going to blame it on any individual. It's a team effort, and the Dragons did not show any team tonight. But that edge with Matthew Feagai last week against the Warriors, he conceded 4 tries on that wing from Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. And then tonight, just kept conceding points. I think he might need a week in reserve grade.
I think so, bro. We may need it, honestly. I mean, I think a couple of players deserve to be in reserve grade once you've had 2 results like these in a row.
Yeah.
No real. There wasn't enough heart put into this game from the Dragons, in my opinion. At least not for the whole 80 minutes.
There was a couple of players who I thought tried hard for the Dragons. Like I thought Tautai Moga tried very hard. I know he was on that right edge defending, but he tried very hard. And every time he's played for the Dragons, he's always had a go. And I thought he tried very hard. Figon
players. He's not one of the greatest in the NRL, but he does his best when he's playing.
He has a go. Look, the Dragons showed some guts for probably 40 minutes, and yeah, the first 25 minutes they were in the game there. The first 25 minutes in that first half, and then it was 24-10 at halftime, and then the Dragons got back in it again. Sloan got that nice try, so they definitely showed some heart for probably, I'd say, 40 minutes out of the whole 80, and then they just got hammered after that. They fell away.
Yeah, we keep saying it. They had heart, and then they just lost it towards the end of the game. Not all the players lost it, but a lot of them did.
Yeah. Viking King in the chat with the $2 super chat. I'm done tipping the Dragons, Nick. Viking King, what on earth were you thinking?
Mate,
did you have a 10-year-old kid roll the dice and go, if it lands on number 4, I'm going Dragons? What the hell are you tipping the Dragons for? What are you thinking? But thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you very much.
$2.
If anyone tipped the Dragons tonight, you would have been brave.
I don't think it was smart tipping the Dragons today, but I love the hope.
Mate, I felt sorry for you and Hainsey. I was watching your streams. You guys look buggered. Live streaming this.
Mate, we couldn't. We were out of it, bro. We were out of it the whole time, especially towards the end of that thing. It was like, why is this where I am now?
Yeah, that second half was god awful. Hard to watch.
If I wasn't streaming, I would have turned the telly off.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I was in the lounge room by myself watching the game, and I had a couple of blankets on me, had the phone on charge, and I'm sort of just laying there going, "Oh, this is not a good way to spend Thursday night football. This is not the game."
Oh, mate. Thursday night football, I always prefer it when they put something big on it to kick off the round. Something like this game is always such a drag to get through.
I feel like with Thursday night football, you don't want it to be too big because it can be hard for people to get to because people got work on Friday mornings and.
Oh yeah, but you don't want a Dragon Sharks to me. I personally,
you don't want a bludger. You don't want a snooze fest, but you don't want something to be the best. You want it to be probably a mid-table game. If I look at this weekend's round of footy, and I'm looking at all these games, the best game tonight, I feel like Manly Roosters would have been the right game to have on tonight. I feel like that
Manly Roosters would have been brilliant tonight. I would have loved to stream that. I think that would have been a much funner time.
That would have been fine. I mean, that would have come out.
Instead of only slowly being choked till I passed out by the freaking scoreline of the Sharks.
Even the Canberra Gold Coast game would have been decent on tonight.
Oh, mate, Canberra Gold Coast. Actually, when you say that now, that kind of screams Thursday for me.
Yeah, because Canberra always get decent attendance on Thursday nights. Canberra's one of those places where if you had them on a Thursday night, you'd get a reasonable crowd.
Oh, mate, you would. Those Canberra Raiders fans, credits to them. I'll always prefer the Parramatta Eels, but they are passionate, mate. They will show up.
They are. You're not wrong. Now back on the game. Obviously, we will get into the Sharks and we will talk about how good they were and how impressive they are and whatnot. But there's one player on the Dragons that I don't think deserves criticism, and I think this guy deserves a huge rap. And I said this before Origin 1. I said this guy should be looked at in the squad. I want to give a massive shout out to Jack de Belin. I thought Jack de Belin tried his absolute guts out tonight. I think he finished with 56 tackles tonight. He tackles everything. He gets involved in everything. He has a go. He never lets his team down. He always puts in 100%. I know people don't want to have De Belin in that Origin team because of that whole off-field incident a few years ago where he was stood down for like 2 years and he ended up being innocent the whole time. I feel like Jack De Belin right now he's in great form. He's trying hard, tackling like anything, and he can play front row and lock. De Belin deserves an Origin call-up, and I thought tonight he was outstanding. He was their best player. And when Ben Hunt leaves, De Belin should be the Dragons' next captain.
Jack De Belin, at the very least, they should have him in the. I would consider almost, if you're not going to have him as captain, put him in at least the vice captaincy role.
Yeah, 100%.
At the very least, he's a real leader for the team in terms of, Ben Hunt doesn't want to be there anymore, so De Belin's practically one of the leaders anyways.
Jack De Belin and Black Glory are the best leaders they got.
I wouldn't mind it if they announced them as a vice captain partnership, honestly, when Hunt left.
And also, back on the Origin thing, if you remember, I think it might have been the 2018 series. De Belin was the lock for New South Wales. He was the best lock in the game, and he was a New South Wales lock, and he was in great form. And then, obviously, he got stood down, and all that off-field drama happened, and then he came back, and it's taken him a little while to get back into his rhythm. But I think right now he's in great form. He's the Dragons. He's probably their best player. He should be in the Blues team. I think he deserves a chance.
Oh, mate, in Game 3 where it doesn't really matter anymore now that Queensland have won the first two. Let's go, by the way. I think Jack De Belin deserves a spot. At least give him a go, man. Like, you got nothing to lose, literally, now.
Well, what's like? People are so critical of Jack De Belin. Like, I know the media always.
It's because he's a Dragons player, bro. At the end of the day, in my opinion, it's because he's a Dragon.
NRL 360 had the hide a couple of weeks. It might have been last week when the whole Ben Hunt thing was getting out of hand. Someone on there was like, "Oh, De Belin's a captain," and they were all like, "Oh no, well you don't want someone like him captain." And I'm like, "What do you mean by that? Are they really referencing to the off-field stuff years ago? He was innocent the whole time. If he wasn't innocent, he'd be in fucking jail." So
I love some of the stuff they keep quiet about, but
the media love an agenda. I reckon they've got it against De Belin, but no. I remember when he was named captain against the Dolphins, that they had a ball with it. The media, they're like, "Oh, De Belin's captain against the Dolphins," and blah blah blah. It's like, who gives a shit? He's a leader and he's a great player, and he backs it up every week.
Exactly right, man. At the end of the day, he was ruled as not guilty. You know what I mean, bro? I
feel sorry for Jack De Belin. He gets a lot of media bullshit towards him, and I mean, yes, the Dragons are playing garbage, and it's hard to really praise players that are getting flogged every week. But De Belin is one of those guys that you can clearly see he is standing out for them. He's playing great.
Put 50 tackles in every game, it feels like.
56 tackles tonight. Outstanding.
He got pretty close to that last week too. He had a good game.
I'm not even. Oh, he's so good. He's their best player.
He's their best player right now. And like, even if you want to argue like a Sloan or something, he is the best that they've got in the forward position in particular.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's the leader, I think, and I think he's their most consistent player. He usually plays 80 minutes. Did he play 480 tonight? I swear he did.
If he didn't, I'll tell you now, he put on an impact for that hour or something.
He played the 480. Played the full game. I feel for De Belin, man. He tries his guts out, man. Hopefully, hopefully he gets a call up. Now, we'll get to the Sharks in just a moment. Back on the Dragons, TJC.
Yeah.
It looks like they will probably get the wooden spoon between them, Tigers, and potentially the Bulldogs for the wooden spoon at this point.
I think Doggies will avoid it.
Newcastle could get it too, but they should avoid it. So it's probably between Dragons and Tigers.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Can they avoid the Dragons? I mean, can they avoid the spoon? They do play the Tigers in a few weeks, which might even determine the wooden spoon. Can they avoid the spoon, the Dragons?
If they beat the Tigers, yes, they can. I think that may be the game that decides it all, honestly. I mean, the West Tigers are falling a bit too. They went through a good few weeks of form and then fell a bit.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel so sorry for the Dragon supporters. They deserve better than this. They're one of the most passionate clubs, passionate fan bases in the whole comp. They
They
always
are.
turn up. We saw that big crowd they had at Cogra against Souths a couple of weeks ago, and they've had some big crowds at Wollongong this season. I was there in round 5. They had like 15 odd thousand there against the Dolphins. So,
Mm.
hopefully they turn this around soon. But I just I just feel sorry for their supporters. The way they're going, it's sad to see.
It's dreadful to see, man. Dragons fans are a very passionate group of supporters, and they don't deserve to be watching a
doubt.
team like this.
Yeah, without a doubt. Hopefully they improve. Now on to the
We hope.
Sharks. Look, there's not much to say about the Sharks. They obviously had a very big win, but I must admit, they did score 52 points. They were good tonight. They were very good. But I'm not here to sour the mood on them, but
Yeah.
I'm not impressed with the Sharks too much, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like this was against the Drag. Like, it would be different if they did this against a Storm or something.
Yeah, or someone around the top 8, like
around
if
the
they
top
did
8.
this. If they did this to a Roosters or a Manly or
It'd be more impressive.
or a Raiders or something,
Honestly, I don't think it's too. Look, forgive me, all right. I'm not having to go at Dragons. I love a lot of their supporters, but it's not exactly
Against
shocking
quality.
if you're a team that wants to be in finals contention to beat a team like the Dragons by as much as they did.
Yeah. Look, the Sharks were good tonight. Obviously, they scored 9 tries to 3. But again, no one's going to take the Sharks seriously until they beat a top 8 team.
Exactly. They need to beat a top 8 team.
They need to beat a
which
fucking
team.
Melbourne. They need to beat a Penrith. They need to beat a South. They need to beat a Warriors, who they haven't beaten. Obviously, they played the Warriors earlier this year, got run down. But they haven't beat any top teams, which is what the Sharks' biggest problem is.
They should have beat the Warriors, but they screwed themselves up so badly in that one.
That was terrible, that game. Choked that one out. I don't know. Now, let me just have a quick look at the Sharks' next couple of games, actually. I'll go through their next 3. So next week, they play the Tigers at CommBank on a Thursday night, Origin affected. So they'll probably be without...
Of course, they can't even play at their own state. They need to borrow us.
Actually, no. Oh, it's a Tigers home game, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, so the freaking Tigers got to borrow our stadium.
Who the hell are they going to have out, the Sharks? Anyone? Maybe Nico, if they pick him?
Look, Nico... Oh, it depends, man. It depends. They'll either pick Nico, in my opinion, or they'll stick with Moses. Depends what they do.
Yeah. The Sharks' next 3 games, they play the Tigers next Thursday night at CommBank. Then they play the Warriors on a Sunday in New Zealand. That's a big game, that one. That'll test the Sharks. And then round 21, they play Manly at Cronulla. So a pretty good run coming up for them. I think that Warriors game in New Zealand will be a big test for the Sharks. But
I'll be shocked if they win that one, not going to lie.
Going to New Zealand with the Warriors at the moment, the way the Warriors are going, would be a very big ask. Now, the try scorers from the game tonight, the Sharks, tries to Nico Hines. Nakora got 2. Ramian got 1. Hazelton got 1. Ronaldo got 2. Kennedy got 1. Talakai got 1. And obviously, Nakora got that other one there. He got a double. And for the Dragons, tries to Ravalawa, Moga, and Tyrell Sloan. What do you think the Sharks need to do? Like they were very good tonight, but they still conceded 16 points. Still conceding 3 tries, man.
Look, the thing is, if they concede 16 points to a lot of other teams, they're not going to be scoring 50 points on them. So, mate, they've got to work on their defense. I'll tell them that much. It's really let them down in games against the top 8 teams. It's what lost them, in my opinion, the game versus the Warriors. Cronulla Sharks, man. I just think defense they've got to work on personally.
I just think it's a little bit disappointing when the Sharks are a team in the top 8. Most likely will finish in the top 8 somewhere. And you're playing the Dragons. I know it's a local derby. I know it's a rivalry. Dragons always get up for it, but to still concede 16 points to a team that's last, you got to be a little bit annoyed with that. If you're Craig Fitzgibbon, you got to be a little bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, especially that Sloan try was ridiculous.
That was a fucking incredible try.
The run he was allowed to do, it's like, what do they do? You know?
Like, I know the attack nowadays is very good, and it's very hard for teams to defend, but I feel like 14 points is probably the most you want to concede in a game. Like I think right now, like obviously a couple of years ago, right, 10 to 12 points is a pretty good margin to concede. Like defensively, conceding 10 to 12 points is very good. But to concede 16 against last place must be a little bit annoying.
Well, honestly, I think the fact that they only conceded 16 was more down to Dragons' attack than it was Sharks' defense.
Yeah. I suppose the other thing, like I just said it, like 14 to 16 points, with how good the attack is these days and how quick the game is with 6 again, you'd almost say 16 points is good. It's great defense, really. And that's weird to say. It's weird to say that.
Look, I can never view 16 points being conceded as a good thing, but I can view it as, at least they weren't the team conceding 50.
See, TJ, if I was a coach, and I'd love to be a coach, I think
we'd all love it.
I think I'd be a great coach. The thing that I would have as a rule, if you concede, for me, if I was coaching, the maximum amount of points that I would be okay with to concede would be 14. Anything more than 14, I'd be annoyed about. I'd go, okay, that's what, 2 tries and a penalty goal, or it's 3 tries and one conversion. 14 points would be the maximum I'd be okay with conceding. Anything more than 14, I'd be annoyed.
Yeah, you'd want to have a talk to your team, maybe tell them, right, where the heck did we go wrong here with these tries?
Yeah, see, for me, I'm the sort of person where if I was coaching, I'd be a defensive coach. Like defense wins games, defense wins comps. Yes, attack's important, but the better you defend, the more chance you are at winning, I feel like. So we got a fucking wanker in the chat. Yeah, just run off back to wanker's stream. Fuck off out of here. We don't need morons here coming in here trying to ruin the fun. Go away. But yeah, now look, the Sharks tonight, like, yes, it wasn't the greatest competition in the world. It wasn't the best win for the Sharks, but they'll take it.
Oh, mate, why wouldn't you take it? It's a great win. You watch, the Cronulla fans will be celebrating long into the night on this one, mate.
Yeah, it's against their rival, the local derby.
And they'll be loving that trophy lift.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself with the Sharks, but they should not have an issue against the Tigers next week.
Yeah. Look, the Tigers, I think they should do well with the Tigers. I don't think that I'm not going to be tipping the Tigers at all. If
I get back Coruscant and Brooks, I might have a chance, but I don't even think they're due back.
I don't think Coruscant's coming back for a long while, bro. I don't think.
If I was Coruscant with the whole injury, he might as well just stay out for the rest of the year.
Where's Yorkshire?
Unless the Tigers end up in last position and they need to avoid the spoon, then maybe they bring Coruscant back. But if I'm Coruscant, you might as well rest him for the rest of the year.
Yeah, nah. I think Coruscant should. They're not making the 8. So if I'm Coruscant, I say I just make sure my fitness is up. I don't want to ruin my career rushing myself back for this season.
Yeah, well, the West Tigers come last year, and I think their goal is to avoid it. So,
here's a scenario for you. If we get to like the final few weeks, right, and the Tigers are behind the Dragons, do you bring Appy back possibly around then?
Yeah, well, I think they want to avoid last, so you probably do. If Appy's fit, you pick him.
If Appy's fit and you're in last place and the Dragons, you get a game against the Dragons, I think you're going to want to.
Well, that's in 3 weeks, I think. I think it's a Thursday night game.
I think next 3 weeks could be crucial on what you do with Appy.
Yeah, I'm not sure when he's back. I think he'll be back pretty soon. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how it all plans out. But
the coach.
Oh, great win for the Sharks tonight. Just quickly in the chat. I swear this guy asks this question every fucking day I see him. Alan, will there be a 2040 this round? Well, Alan, thank you very much for the question. And I think you should change your name to 2040 because I swear you say that all the time. But will there be a 2040 this weekend? Well, you never know. I'll say yeah. Why not? Why not?
Right, I'll narrow it down. I'll say Gold Coast Raiders 40-20. It's coming.
I'll say Melbourne Penrith tomorrow night. Munster will kick one. There we
Let's
go.
go. Massive. Boom. Done. Predictions.
You just never know. Anyway, before we wrap it up, TJC, who would you give the man of the match to tonight, bro? Me personally, I'm going to give it to. I'm torn between Nakora and Brayley, to be honest. I'll give it to Nakora. I thought he had a great game.
You're going between Nakora and Brayley.
Yeah, I'm stuck on them. I'm going Nakora.
Yeah, not a bad pick, honestly, bro. Not a bad pick. I'm personally going to be going with Nico.
Nico Hines.
Myself. 3 try assists, a try.
Yeah.
Very good playmaking and kicking today.
The reason I'm going Nakora is because I feel like he had a lot of success down that right edge. He did get 2 tries. I know Nico Hines set it up both times, but I really liked what Nakora did tonight. There was stuff in the game that he does that really, really impresses me. So I thought Nakora was great. So I'm going
Nakora was miles ahead of any other forward tonight. I'll say that.
Yeah, Nakora was. And how about before we go on the bench when they were cheering on Tom Hazelton? They were going nuts for him.
Mate, they absolutely love Hazelton there. He's that kind of player, where I don't think he'd get that sort of uproar, love anywhere else.
Mate, Thomas Hazelton at the Sharks, the love the fans have got for him is the same as the Tigers fans have got for Alex Twal.
100%. I feel like a lot of clubs have that kind of one player, whether it's a forward a lot of the time or not, where you'll just unconditionally love him.
Yeah. I think Parr's got the same with Hopgood.
Yeah, Hopgood, mate. Well, to be fair, he is an incredible lock, but
for us, it's very hard to pick one. But I feel like Cohen Hess is a very lovable character with us.
Yeah, Cohen Hess is a good one too.
Love him. Well, see, the reason why I love Cohen Hess so much is because he's come out and said that he'll take less money to stay at the Cowboys for life. So I love him. Hopefully, he's a loyal player.
Yeah, he's a loyal player, and you got to be careful because you don't get as many of those nowadays.
I love all the loyal. Every player that's loyal stays at one club. I love them sort of players.
Oh, 100%, bro. My favorite power players are the ones who are very clear about the fact that they want to be here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Anyway, TJC, that's going to wrap up the review, mate. Not much more to talk about in this game. Sharks far too good for the Dragons. And now I'll see you next Thursday. Next week we got the Tigers Sharks CommBank, so that'll be good. Hopefully, anyway.
Probably going to be reviewing another smashing, but let's go.
hopefully we get Golden Point or something, some entertainment.
Please. Something shocking. Let's go.
But thank you to TJC for coming on the review. Thank you to the live chat. Thanks for watching the review. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Have a great Thursday night, and I'm going to go and have a glass of Coke and try and get warm. I am freezing cold. But anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. The Sharks win the game here, 52-16. Like and subscribe. See you guys later.